What's going on, everyone? Max Forti back with another video. Today we're going to be covering another FragDuel by popular demand. This is the house of Hermes. I'm going to be sharing with you the four different types of formulations of the same fragrance, Bel Ami. So let me tell you which one is my favorite. Let's do it. So what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another FragDuel. I'm very proud to talk about this one today, which is a great powerhouse from the 80s, a fragrance that was introduced in 1986 by French perfumer Jean-Louis Zuzac. Bel Ami translates to good friend or nice friend. Now, before I get into dissecting these four different formulations of Bel Ami, I want to pay respect to the house of Hermes. Hermes is a house that has tremendous originality, quality, and vision. I love what they do with their fragrances. Pretty much, they don't follow the trends. They just stick to their guns. They put out fragrances that they believe in. The great example of that is great in-house perfumer Jean-Claude Ellena that continues to move forward with amazing compositions that we can see in Hermes line and all the new things that he puts out over the years, throughout the decades. Very trend-setting, groundbreaking fragrances, just like the one we're going to talk today. And there's one in particular that he actually recomposed and reformulated, which is the fourth one we're going to be talking about today. But before I jump ahead, let me digress and talk about the first one, which is the 1986 Jean-Louis Zuzac composition, Bel Ami. This is Bel Ami 1986. This is the original composition. This is a 100 ml bottle, referred to as the shaker. It looks like a shaker, like you're going to mix a drink and pour in a glass. That's what this one reminds people of and what they talk about when they refer to the shaker one, which is the original. This is a powerhouse. It reminds me of a great leather fragrance from the house of Guerlain. Of course, we're talking about Derby. It has that dirty, smoky, animalic leather kind of a feel to it with some notes surrounding it. But the most that you get here is a leathery, animalic with some oak moss and vetiver in the dry down. It's not for the faint of heart. Not everyone's gonna love this fragrance. To me, a masterpiece from '86. Wasn't very successful. I believe this particular formulation here was good until 1989 when it quickly disappeared from the market and you couldn't find it anymore. A very bold, brash, very in-your-face kind of a fragrance. I get resemblances of, like I said, Derby from Guerlain. I also get some cinnamon, cypress in here, a little bit of a Tom Ford Italian cypress with some moss brash. It's like you mash those three fragrances together, you combine to get this beautiful woody chypre with a leather undertone. This second formulation that I'm going to introduce to you right now is the actual formulation that I came to find out about Bel Ami. I believe it was early 2000s that I was able to get this particular bottle. As you see, I wore a lot of this fragrance, and this particular formulation compared to the one I just showed you, the shaker one, it is more resinous, it's more in your face, a little bit more pungent, if you will. The initial blast here, the first hour or so, it packs a really nice punch, but then as it gets to the heart, it's not as resinous as it starts off with, but you get like an incense type of vibe here. The cardamom is big on this one, and comparing the two as far as the strength of the composition, the first one I showed you, the 1986 composition, is going to give you a longer lasting performance as far as longevity is concerned. This one here has a stronger projection. However, it gets closer to the skin after the first hour and a half or so, but it does give you a good 8 to 9 hours as well. It is a strong fragrance. Again, keeping that character, that scent profile of the original, minus some of the more animalic and strong leathery undertones, but also a great fragrance. I believe this one was available probably around, I want to say, the mid to late 90s until about the 2000s, until this was discontinued, and then they brought the third formulation that I'm talking to you about right now. I believe this one here, this particular formulation, was still around at Hermes boutiques until about 2012, if I'm not mistaken. Now, before I get into the third composition, the third formulation or reformulation of Bel Ami, I want to bring something to your attention. I want to talk about a book. I also love books about fragrances. I read them very often, and I want to give you guys a suggestion on a book if you want to get an overall, again, take it with a grain of salt. This is their opinion. This is Luca Turin and Tanya Sanchez, his wife. They wrote a book called Perfume Guide from A to Z. I love this book. It's one of the first books I bought back in 2008. It talks about this particular fragrance, Bel Ami, but the second formulation, which I believe was actually composed by Jean-Claude Ellena, and he gives a 4 stars. take it with a grain of salt, read it. It's really nice. It just talks about the fragrance being toned down a little bit, but again, it's still a great scent, you know, keeping the character and profile of the first 1986 composition. So get this book if you can. It gives you a really nice broad view on the world of fragrances. You know, fragrances that you're looking to get, or kind of like Fragrantica. It's a tool. It's a really nice tool for knowledge. So Perfume's the guide. Definitely a great one if you're looking to get some fragrance books. The third composition is this one right here. This is what you can find in stores and expect to find at your Hermes counter or boutique. This is the current formulation. This is a lot toned down, a lot more wearable, a lot more pleasant. Not that the other ones are going to be dated or too old smelling, but this one here is a lot smoother. The cinnamon undertones here are definitely, you know, pumped up. It's going to be a lot more pleasant and easy to wear. A great office scent. Also, again, it's going to remain true to the original character and profile of the original, but it's not going to be as pungent or strong as its predecessors. Also, the moss here is extremely toned down and neutered, almost null. So check this one out, you know, if you have a store near you. And this fragrance, again, it's going to be, this one particularly, the third formulation, it's going to remind you of Dracar Noir, Polo Green, Chanel and Teas. It's going to have that same kind of profile, but again, remaining true to the original signature of the Bel Ami from 1986, but a lot more wearable, toned down to today's modern perfumery. I love it. Not my favorite compared to the other two. I love the other two. The second formulation is actually my favorite because it's a lot stronger in resonance. I love that opening. It's almost incense-like. So between all the formulations, the second one is actually my favorite. But let me tell you, the fourth one, which is kind of like a surprise. You know, I bought this fragrance about 1.5 years ago. I've been wearing it a lot to the office, and I think it's going to make my most professional scent in the upcoming year when I release, which I believe I'll do at the end of this year. But this one is amazing. It's Bel Ami Vetiver. So Bel Ami Vetiver, this is a great take on the Bel Ami character and DNA, gene, genre, whatever you want to call it. It gives it a fruity kind of nuance. This is the fruitiest of all the Bel Amis, but it dries down to this amazing, smoky, leathery, incensey kind of accord. I love this fragrance. Like you can see, I've been wearing this quite a bit now for the past 1.5 years. I have about 12 fragrances that I wear constantly for work in the office. This is becoming one of my favorite ones when I really want to make a nice impression if I'm giving out a presentation or, you know, meetings. It's one that definitely turned heads, and I don't know why the FragCom does not talk about this fragrance much. Again, it's going to have a mature vibe to it. I think someone between 30 and up to really appreciate, or if you have a seasoned nose or you have a taste for traditional classic kind of fragrances, you absolutely love this one. I believe Jean-Claude nailed this one. To be honest with you, I like this one here, this vetiver, better than the current formulation of Bel Ami. I think, you know, this is a fantastic work of art from Jean-Claude. He nailed it. The cinnamon here is beautiful. The vetiver is a fruity kind of a vetiver with a little bit of an earthy undertone. If you like fragrances like Terre d'Hermes, you will love this fragrance. It's going into a different direction, but a great fragrance that I guarantee you're going to appreciate, and people are going to love the way you smell. So this is the time of the video when I'm asking you, the viewer, what is your favorite fragrance from Hermes? And also, let me know what your overall thoughts on the house of Hermes is. What do you like from the house? What are your favorites from the house? Please let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing for a lot more great content like this one. Your support matters a lot. It enables me to continue to grow, and the more I grow, the more I can do for you guys. Don't forget to enable notifications so you guys always get first dibs on fragrant news, new releases, giveaways, and so much more. Don't forget to join the fragrance community at the FragCom group on Facebook, which I'll leave the link below. It's the Emporium of Scent, where we share a ton of great fragrance news. We do sales and swaps on a daily basis. There's giveaways. There's coupon codes for various fragrance websites. Again, it's a great forum to share the love and passion that we all share for fragrance. So I'm going to leave all that information below, and I hope to see you guys there. And as always, stay fragrant, keep on spraying, and of course, I got you covered. See you next time.